Well, well, well. What do we have here? Limbus Company's latest identity is here, and it's time to give it a read, shall we? Cinq East Section 3 Honglu, and he is our first, standard identity of the season, which means on Thursday, or whatever patch day is for you, you can immediately shard this identity, which is going to be great. So let's have a little look, shall we? We have, first of all, very lovely upside art, and this is the identity info. So we can see here, he has 3 skills and a defensive, with 2 passives and a support passive. We're not going to linger on this for any longer. Let's get right into reading. As always, I will start off with the skills. Boom. So we have Fajin, which is a 1-coin Gloom Pierce. Skill 1. If this unit's speed is faster than the target's by X or more, gain coin power. So he is a poise burn identity, burn upscale, obviously, and he will work pretty much, I theorize, exactly like Don Quixote. So, speed conditional, which is pure coin power, which is very, very good. On use, gain clash power for every X poise on self plus burn on target. On use, if the target does not have Nerve Strike Honglu, gain clash power. A lot of clash power on this skill. On use, gain poise counter. Obviously, it is a single coin. The first coin on hit inflicts burn. The second on hit effect, if the target has X plus Nerve Strike Honglu, reuse this coin. Reuse on hit, inflict burn. So pure burn, just straight up burning it, as they say. Very, very nice. Obviously, this has a reuse of 1. I believe they all have at least a reuse of 1, as far as I'm aware, but we will see. This does have 1 reuse, so that has a lot of clash power for that reason. Awesome. Just a simple skill 1. But, you know, reuse is always nice, because it always means more damage. Moving on to the skill 2, it is a 2-coin Wrath Pierce. Virusant Flame Palm. If this unit's speed is faster than the target's, gain coin power based on the speed difference. On use, at X plus poise on self, plus burn on target, gain final power. Clash Win, gain poise. Gain additional poise count equal to Nerve Strike Honglu on the target. We move on to the effect. On the first coin, on hit, gain poise count. Don't inflict poise count, you silly Billy. The second effect will be inflicting burn. The second coin will inflict burn count. The second effect is on hit, if the target has X plus Nerve Strike Honglu, reuse the coin. Reuse on hit, inflict defense level down equal to Nerve Strike Honglu on the target. Now, because we have Don Quixote as a reference here, we do have a guesstimate of some values here. Nerve Strike is 3, because it's much like how the other strikes are. Well, the dueling strikes are normal, but I think the nerve, whatever Mersault's one is called, I can't remember. Focus Strike is 3 as well. So it is 3. So we have that for reference. We'll go over that when we come back to it. But that is a 2-coin that turns into a 3-coin, which is very nice. So 2-coin turns to 3-coin, has final power, has poise count. A lot of poise count, it looks like here. Especially if you win the clash, so that might be a priority. And burn count, we love that. And defensible down, just like Don Quixote's. Moving on to the final skill, we have Take the Hit to the Last Blow. Please? Bro's begging them to please take the hit, bro. Just take the hit. It is a 3-coin Pride Pierce. He is Mono Pierced. Yeah, he's Mono Pierced like Don. Again, if this unit's speed is faster than the target's by X or more, gain coin power. On use at X plus poise on self, plus burn on the target, gain coin power. Clash Win, gain poise. Gain additional poise count equal to Nerve Strike Honglu on the target. The first coin inflicts burn. The second inflicts burn. The third deals poise on self, plus burn on target % damage on critical hits. It also inflicts burn count. On crit, inflicts defense level down. On hit, if the target has Nerve Strike Honglu, reuse this coin. And then we have the reuse on hit. Deal wrath damage equal to the burn on target, multiplied by X% of this coin's final damage. So a little bit of a big nuke attack. This is going to be very interesting. I'm sure this will be capped. Looks like I'm going to maybe guess it might be capped to 50. That's going to be my prediction. I don't think it'll be 99. If it's 99, I'll be very surprised. But we have bonus damage, which again, we'll use Don Quixote as a reference. which I think is like 30% or 40%. Burn count, burn potency, burn potency. A lot of poise count gain on self, so he will be able to, it seems to be gain a lot of, maintain a lot of that poise, which he does need for poise conditionals. He only has one poise conditional so far, which I'm very surprised about, which is this defensive down. So it's not required, at least so far. But that is the skill 1, 2, and 3. Let's go to the defensive. Probably not going to be anything important because it's wasn't really shown. We have light as a tuft of cloud. It is a wrath evade. If this unit's speed is faster than the attackers by X or more, gain coin power. Combat start, gain poise count. Okay, combat start. I don't know if Dawn's has combat start, gain poise count. I will look at that after. But it is poise count, so if you need to maintain your poise count, for whatever reason, maybe you lose the clash or whatever, or you have no sanity, there's a way to do it. Going on to the passives now, let's have a little gander. A duel witnessed. Upon entering the encounter for the first time, gain witnessed Eastern Cinq equal to the number of Cinq association identities set as a backup or support unit, including defeated units. What? Against the target. Okay, whoa. As a backup or support unit? Is this John solo Honglu? He doesn't want to be with anyone? Against the target, a base attack skill hits last, inflicts nerve, strike Honglu next turn, in focus parts, in focus counters the part. So this just means that whenever you hit an enemy, right, after the attack ends, like the final skill hits, you will inflict nerve strike. You can only do that once per turn. This here I'm very interested in. Witnessed Eastern Cinq. We'll come back to this. Moving on to the standard passive, or the, not resin passive, but the Sin affinity passive, I guess. We have the Versant Pyro Jade. On Clash Wind, if the target has Nerve Strike, inflict a Nerve Strike on Lu. Okay. Thank you. Okay, cool. Turn end. Gain haste next turn for every X poise potency on self. Deal burn potency on target, % damage on critical hit. Increases max cap by 1% for every Y nerve strike Honglu on the target. Okay, so that's exactly like Dawn's. So on Clash, when if target has nerve strike, inflict nerve strike Honglu. Okay, hold on. So if you, I think what this means, this might be really good. Actually, this might be really, really good if this is what I think it means. Because there are only 2 nerve strikes in the game. There's Don Quixote and then there's Honglu. I think what this means is if the target, if it has Dawn, right, they replace each other. But what this does is it actually replaces the effect with Honglu's effect, but doesn't count it as inflicting it for that turn. So if Dawn has, let's say the head hooligan has 1 nerve strike Don Quixote, if you win the clash with Honglu, he will, inflict Honglu nerve strike before the attack, like he will inflict it after the clash win, and then when you hit the head hooligan, he will also inflict another nerve strike, which means he inflicts 2 nerve strike per turn with this, which will assist you because the nerve strikes replace each other. So if you don't know, the Cinq Association have 3 types of infliction. They have dual escalate, which is the south. They have nerve strike, which is the east. Then you have focus strike, which is Mersault. Now Mersault's, I think, is the only one that doesn't replace each other, but the south and the Cinq and the east do, and they also replace each other. So East Dawn and East Honglu replace each other, and Cinq Claire, Cinq Dawn, South, and Cinq Otis replace each other. So I was thinking if they were going to be doing something like this, it kind of reminds me of T-Corp Otis, where she doesn't replace, if there's already an effect on the enemy with the time, whatever they call the Tremor Souls, right? She won't replace it. She'll do more bonus damage and stuff like that. So I feel like this is kind of something similar, which I was saying on stream. I think this would be a really good thing to do, to kind of play alongside that. And it does seem to be that this is their solution. So you're not really losing out for having both Dawn and Honglu on the field. You actually kind of benefit actually having... Nah, not really, but you don't lose, which is good. So you don't lose, you only really gain. So that's really cool. That's really awesome. Obviously, this is also the same as Dawn. You gain haste next turn for every poise. I think it's max 2. And then this is, I think, 30% bonus or 20% bonus, and that's plus 5. I'll check the stats after. Moving on from my yap session, sorry. We go on to the support passive. I'll melt open. I'll melt open the way out. I can see burn count already, dude. They're getting rid of they're shooting Honglu out back, bro. I'm already saying this. Alright. Ally with the fastest speed. On Clash when it gets enemies that have burn or unique burn, inflict bind. Oh, dude, that's a lay hang down scale, bro. Sorry, Lay. Sorry, uncle. Oh, dude. Okay, if the target has X minus burn count, also inflict burn count to said target this turn. If the target has Y plus burn count, also inflict burn to said target this turn, minus burn count. So maybe if they have less than 3 burn count, it inflicts burn count. And then if you have more than Y burn count, it also inflicts burn potency. So it kind of assists you with burn count, but doesn't go over. That's what I'm assuming because it has X minus and then Y plus. Okay, obviously this is to replace Liu Honglu with his burn count passive, which is still a very good support passive to this day. Now let's have a look at this Witnessed. Witnessed Eastern Cinq. Offense level up plus stack. So the stack would be 3 then. Or 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it would be 3. 3, 3, 3, right? Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm not silly. 4. 4. It's 4. I'm not including him. Yeah, because there's 5 Cinq now. And there's 4 others, so it'd be 4 offense up. Maybe. At X plus stack, base skills gain more poise potency. And then at X plus stack, base skills gain more poise count. Okay, you know what? That's cool. You could have X amount in the backup if you don't plan to use them and gain more poise count and poise potency if you need to, which is very nice. And then we have the Nerve Strike Honglu, which I assume will be identical with Don Codes. This unit that inflicted this Nerve Strike gains the following effects based on the target stack. X is Clash Power, Y is Base Power, and Z is gain Clash Power and Base Power. Expires if the unit that inflicted it also inflicts against a different target, and replace when another unit inflicts Nerve Strike. Stacks are preserved. Stacks are preserved. What do you mean stacks are preserved? Stacks are preserved? I don't think Don Quixote says that, does it? Interesting. Okay, we're going to come back to this real quick once I open up Don on another site, on another page, and then we're going to do a little bit of comparison. So I'm back here now with Don's open, so I can give you a little bit of context just on some effects, right? So I think the first thing probably focusing on is the passive, which will be the Virus and Jade. So this is pretty identical to Don Quixote's, if in fact actually it's exactly identical, except for this bit here with the Clash Wind, that is completely new. So here for Don Quixote's, she gains a maximum of 2 haste for every 3 poise potency, and then she deals 15 potency, 15% damage on crit, increases by 5 per Honglu. So just as a reference, that is not guaranteed. I am just giving you a reference of mind. And obviously here the stack is 3 because there are 3 nerve strikes. It is 1 Clash Power, 1 Base Power, and then 1 Clash Power and Base Power. Now, I'm looking at it, and I do not see on Don Quixote's stacks are preserved. So I wonder if the nerve strike for Honglu, when it gets replaced, retains it. That would essentially fix the entire issue that I guess issue is a harsh word to say for the Cinq Association. But yeah, it is something that the association do have, which is replacing each other's nerve strike. So I'm very interested with that. And yeah, that's really good. Also, fun fact, because I have it open, the skill 1 and the skill 2 are exactly the same as Don Quixote's in terms of name. So they're named the same. Don's is obviously a gluttony, and that. Now, for other stuff like values here, I can't give that to you. I have no clue. Maybe I might be able to give you for this skill 3 as a theoretical. Don Quixote's has a max of 50%. So on reuse, I could see a 50%, although that's wrath damage. Oh no, this part right here, which is deal poison self. So it could be 50%, and then this could be bonus wrath damage. But that is it for not Don Quixote, that's it for Honglu's one. Which honestly, not gonna lie to you, looks pretty alright. Remember, this is standard, so it's probably gonna be around the same par or a bit better than Don Quixote's one, which is already very good. I'm very curious about this Witnessed Eastern Cinq. Again, Honglu getting another identity that buffs himself with a number of items. Is it 3 now? He got the Lord of Hong 1, right? He got the Ring Nurse Father, and now he's got the, not even like a director, it's just a Section 3 unit. Yeah, so I'm curious to see if this will adjust the replacement issues for the Nerve Strike. The values look nice, looks pretty strong. Obviously, it always, I mean, who knows? Until we will be playing it, obviously, on the day. We will be fighting Lei Heng. and pulling, well, not pulling, but sharding it on the day. So if you would like to see it, join me on patch day where we fight Lei Heng with this. Otherwise, I will be talking on stream later to talk about, obviously, the, what do you call it, patch notes. So I will be talking about patch notes and also going over the ID again. So, yeah, that's about it for Cinq E Section 3 Honglu. All right, see ya.